I get a book, Father?
Oh, Stephen, for goodness sake. Look what you've done. Give me that. Really, you know, if you can't... Where are you going?
Upstairs.
Well, don't you want this book?
Not if you don't want me to have it.
Well, I just want you to realize that these books are valuable.
I'm sorry I damaged your book, Father.
All right. Now, what was it you wanted to look up?
The Industrial Revolution.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You want Jennings for that. Now, where is he hiding? Here we are. Now, take this. That'll give you a comprehensive picture.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, I have to go to London on Friday. If you'd like to come with me, we could go to the British Museum and you could see some of the engravings of the period.
I'm afraid I can't. I promised to go into Birmingham with Mother.
Isabel, would you mind taking this book into Warwick for me? See if Swallows can do anything about it.
Yes, all right.
Just introduced Stevens to Jennings.
Who?
Jennings Humphrey. You know, Industrial Revolution chap.
Oh.
Time he made his acquaintance. I knew him at Cambridge. As a matter of fact, I asked Stephen if he'd like to come to the British Museum with me on Friday, but it appears he's made some prior arrangement with you.
I only asked him if he'd like to come shopping with me. It's nothing important.
Well, it seems he gave some sort of promise.
Then I'll release him from it.
Oh, no. It's entirely proper that he should realize that his promises are binding. Entirely proper. You're all right, my dear.
Yes.
I think you should see a doctor.
Well, that's quite unnecessary. There's nothing the matter with me.
Well, it wouldn't do any harm.
Ralph, do stop clucking round me like an old hen.
Come here, quick!
Well, I warn you, Dr. Hardy, I'm a complete fraud. There's nothing the matter with me.
Your husband seems to think there is.
Well, I haven't been sleeping very well lately, but...
How long is lately?
About 2 weeks. And I feel tired all day, then the moment my head touches the pillow, I suddenly feel wide awake.
Have you been working especially hard?
Well, not what you'd call hard. Charity committees may be boring, but they're hardly very taxing.
You worried about anything at the moment?
No.
No problems?
Not more than usual.
Come here every day, do you?
Yes, sir.
So if it had been here yesterday, you would have seen it.
Yes, sir.
All right, run off home now. I'll send someone around later. Off you go. Anything yet, sir?
The wounds on the head and the face.
How long's it been in the river?
Tell you after the post-mortem.
I know you hate committing yourself, Doctor, but could you give me some idea?
He's been there at least a week.
Well, the kids who found him said he wasn't there yesterday.
Yes, probably went into the water further upstream.
Good. Well, your blood pressure's normal.
I thought it would be.
So it's really just you're not sleeping and lack of appetite.
Yes.
Do you manage to get out much?
For bracing walks, you mean? Not my cup of tea at all.
Does your husband enjoy walking?
The only fresh air he ever breathes on the car journey from here to the university.
Do you play golf?
Golf? Oh, I really can't see myself striding to the tea and fair hour, stopping some folks.
Perhaps not. How long is it since you last had a holiday?
About 3 months. We spent Christmas in the Canaries, so you see I've absolutely no excuse.
Well, I'll give you something to make you sleep.
Thank you.
If this doesn't do the trick, let me know, and we'll try something stronger.
All right. Thank you.
What's that?
Oh, it's a prescription. Come and say hello to Dr. Hardy.
Hello.
Hello, Stephen.
Father says when you finish, could you please go and see him?
Right. Well, I shouldn't bother if you're on a rush.
Well, I expect you'd like to know you live.
What was the matter?
Nothing, darling. Oh, what a messy look. Come here.
What do you mean, nothing?
Your mother's a bit run down, Stephen, that's all.
And I agreed to see the doctor so that Daddy would leave me in peace.
You'd tell me if there was anything really wrong, wouldn't you?
Yes, of course I would.
Well, perhaps I'd better make my report to the professor.
He's in the study. Shall I show you?
No, don't bother, I know the way.
Goodbye. Oh, goodbye, Dr. Hardy. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Stephen.
Come in. Ah, Doctor. Come in. Come in. What's the verdict?
Well, if all my patients were as healthy as your wife, Professor, I could retire.
That's good news. It's good news.
But?
Well, I'm still convinced there's something wrong. It's not just that she doesn't sleep, but she seems so tense all the time.
I asked her if there was anything worrying her. She said not.
Do you accept that?
Not entirely.
Neither do I.
Have you talked to her about it?
No, I've tried to, but she just tells me not to fuss. I thought that perhaps with you, another woman, she might...
Be a little more forthcoming.
Doctor, I have many deficiencies as a husband. My only defense is that I am very conscious of them.
Face and head. No distinguishing features. Multiple abrasions. Various lacerations. Small laceration. Outer canthus. Right eye. Larger laceration. Left frontal area measuring 12 centimeters by 2 centimeters.
Injuries received before or after death?
Let us say at about the time of.
A lighter, silver, chrome, really. One set of, like Ford car keys, FT119.
Teeth. There's certainly been some dental work here. Now, Sandra, what do you know about dentistry?
I don't know anything.
Neither do I. Would you telephone Andrews and ask him if he could spare us a few minutes?
To find out what type of Ford those keys belong to.
Right. Pondweed in the trachea, and the following conditions are present. 1. Blood-tinged foam in the air passage. 2. Extended volume and edematous condition of lungs. 3. Water in the stomach. We'll have to check later in the lab whether it is similar to that of the drowning agent, i.e. the River Avon. But all these less evident than is normal in cases of drowning.
A diatoms test, Doctor?
I've never done one myself. No, despite the presence of pondweed in the trachea, well, diatoms are found very seldom in fast-flowing rivers, usually in ponds. No, I don't think any useful purpose would be served by a diatoms test.
I've been reading it up. I'd like to try it, Doctor. If you have no objections.
Thank you. Keys belong to a Cortina.
Oh, well, that's something. Contact all police stations 10 miles upstream from where the body was discovered. Ask if they found an abandoned Cortina.
Right.
Ah, hello, Doctor. Anything you can tell me yet?
Well, nothing very much as yet, I'm afraid, no.
Any indication as to his identity?
No laundry marks on his clothing. From the calluses on his hands, I should say that he probably was involved in some kind of manual work, and you may find the teeth helpful. Mr. Andrews says that he's had some recent dental treatment.
Cause of death?
Well, he certainly inhaled water, but to a much lesser extent than is normal in cases of drowning. Still, you'll have my report by this evening. Sandra wants to do a test for diatoms.
Diatoms? What's that, sir?
That is an order of microscopic unicellular algae of the diatomaceae.
I see. This blow to the head could have been fatal, sir?
Most improbable.
Well, what do you think caused it?
Well, I mean, these various lacerations here. It is possible that he may have been attacked with the branch of a tree. I did find some wood splinters and traces of creosote under his fingernails. I wonder now if there could be a wooden bridge anywhere upstream. If so, it might be worthwhile searching the area.
No Cortinas. Thank you. Sorry to keep you, sir. We're trying to identify some recent dental work.
Sandra, what document are you studying?
Die Zweitschrift für medizinische und juristische Forschung. It's German.
Yes, so I gathered. But do tell me, what are you up to?
You'd better stand back, Doctor. It says it's going to spit.
Oh, really?
Blood. Search this area thoroughly.
Yes, Hardy. Hello, Fleming. Yes. Oh, yes, indeed. I'll be there right away. Goodbye. Sandra, I take it that you can continue with this experiment without my assistance.
Oh, yes, Doctor. I'll put the sediment on a slide so you can have a look at it when you get back.
Ah, I've been looking forward to that.
You've no dental work like that recently. You see?
What do you think?
I think it's blood, all right.
Marks on the wood? Mm-hmm. I'll leave you to it then. I'm going to do a house to house. Find out if anyone saw anything.
All right.
What are these diatoms?
Microscopic organisms living in fresh water. Animals, plants.
So the diatoms come from the river?
No,
Where then?
a man's brain.
Chrome partial denture, replacing the 2 upper incisors and a premolar, and a wisdom tooth that was extracted quite recently. Right, I'll hang on.
Sandra, what will it prove if they are diatoms?
That this man was alive when he entered the water.
But I thought you knew. You won't be late for surgery, will you?
I won't.
Where did you find it?
Over there, sir, among the trees.
I think I'll take it for examination, if I may. Thank you.
Finished, Doctor?
Just about. That looks interesting, doesn't it?
Doctor?
Doctor! It's the name and address of the dead man, sir.
Mrs. Preston?
Yes?
We're police officers. May we come in?
Well, yes. I suppose so. If it's about that parking fine, I sent it off yesterday.
No, it's not about that.
Oh? Well, do you mind if I get on with my ironing?
Go right ahead. How long is it since you saw your husband, Mrs. Preston?
2 weeks.
And when do you expect him back?
I don't.
Why is that?
Look, Inspector, suppose you tell me why you're here.
We were wondering why you didn't report your husband missing.
To you?
Yes.
Why should you be interested?
You're not worried about him?
No.
Why is that?
He's no concern of mine anymore.
He's left you, is that it?
I should have thought that was obvious.
How long ago?
March the 6th. 2 weeks ago last Saturday.
And you've no idea where he went?
I neither know nor care. What is this all about?
Do you have a photograph of your husband, Mrs. Preston?
Yes.
May I see it? Thank you. Mind if I keep this?
More than welcome.
So as far as you're concerned, he just wandered off into the blue?
That's right.
Did it come as a surprise?
No, if he hadn't left me, I was going to leave him.
Why?
I really don't see what business this is of yours.
If he was leaving you for good, why didn't he take his car?
I don't know. I suppose she had one.
Who?
The one he went off with.
He left with a woman.
Every other week.
Mrs. Preston, I have to tell you we've found the body of a man we believe could have been your husband. Now, these women, do you know their names?
Most of them.
So you know who he went off with on March the 6th?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Not bad. Fancy a place like this, do you, Frank?
Will do.
You've chosen the wrong job, then.
Good afternoon.
Professor Howard?
Yes?
Detective Chief Inspector Fleming. Sergeant Ash. We'd like a word with your wife, please, sir.
What about?
Well, it's a personal matter.
Surely you can tell me my wife and I have no secrets from each other.
We prefer to talk to your wife, sir.
It's not a very propitious moment. She's not been well.
We shan't keep her long.
Stephen? Tell your mother there are two gentlemen to see her, will you?
She's lying down.
Well, ask her if she feels well enough to get up. I take it I shall be allowed to remain with my wife.
Well, that's for your wife to decide, sir.
I see. Perhaps you'd better wait in here.
Thank you.
It's the police, my dear.
Oh?
I put them in the drawing room. They want to talk to you alone.
Really?
Well, of course, I'll stay with you if you want.
Well, they're not going to eat me, for heaven's sake. I'll call you if they start giving me the 3rd degree.
Very well.
I see. Well, perhaps you'd like to come sit down.
Thank you.
Well, now, what did you want to see me about?
We were wondering where you were on the night of March the 6th.
March the 6th, 2 weeks ago. I really don't remember. It's rather difficult just like that.
If you could try, it's very important.
Why?
We found the body of a man, and we have reason to believe that he died that night.
And what's it got to do with me?
We think you may have known him. His name was Harry Preston. We found the body in a river. Did you know him?
No.
The name means nothing to you.
Not a thing.
Oh, well, perhaps he, called himself something else.
I've never seen him before.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Howard.
Is that all?
Yes. Unless you can remember where you were on March the 6th.
Well, I should think I was probably at home. We don't go out much during term.
I see.
Inspector, what gave you the idea that I knew this man?
His wife. She mentioned your name along with several other women. Goodbye.
Alexandra, this may have been the object with which he was attacked. Oh, I'm so sorry. I quite forgot. What about the outcomes?
Completely negative.
Oh, dear. Well, where does this take us?
Nowhere.
That's not quite true. If he had been drowned in a pond.
Then we might have been able to discover in which pond.
But he wasn't drowned in the pond.
No, a river.
Oliver Wendell Holmes says somewhere, science is an excellent piece of furniture for a man's upper chamber, if he has common sense on the ground floor.
Thank you, Doctor.
What was all that about?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
Well, it's nothing important.
Well, it was important enough for them to come all the way out here to see you.
Well, there'd been an accident. They're looking for a hit-and-run driver.
They thought it was you.
Obviously.
Why?
Well, someone must have told them they'd seen a car like mine, I suppose.
There are thousands of cars like yours. Are they questioning every owner in the county?
I didn't ask them.
I take it you were nowhere near the scene of the accident.
Of course not.
Isabel. Doesn't matter.
What's the matter, Mother?
No, nothing, darling. I'm just being silly, that's all.
I wish I could help.
Well, you do.
How?
Just being there.
Father's here too.
Well, that's not the same.
What did those policemen want?
Oh, they just wanted to ask me something.
What?
Curiosity killed the cat.
Can't you tell me?
Well, they wanted to find out if I knew someone.
Who?
Some man.
Why?
Well, he's had an accident.
What made them think you knew this man?
My, what a lot of questions. You're nearly as bad as your father.
I'm not! If anything's the matter, you can always tell me.
Hairs on the branch are similar in all general and particular characteristics to those of the victim.
Letters? I don't know what you mean, Inspector.
You implied that you knew all about your husband's affairs. How?
Gossip.
We've already made inquiries in the village and we can't find anyone that even saw your husband with another woman. As far as the neighbors are concerned, you were happily married until the day he disappeared. Now, come on, how did you find out about the other women?
All right, there were some letters.
Were?
I burnt them when I was sure Harry had gone for good.
Why?
I just didn't want them around anymore.
So you burnt them?
Yes. When I was sure he wasn't coming back, I reread them. Just to remind myself of what a bastard he'd been, and then I threw them on the fire.
Were you anticipating a divorce?
I suppose so. Eventually.
Do you mean to tell me that you destroy evidence that might be useful to you in a divorce court? are, Frank. This looks like the one we need.
Again?
Afraid so, sir.
Why?
We believe she can help us with our inquiries.
The same inquiries as before.
We're sorry to inconvenience you, sir.
Inconvenience? I'd call it more like persecution. I've already told you she's not been well.
I wouldn't trouble you again if I didn't think it was important, sir.
Well, I sincerely hope for your sake it is. The Chief Constable happens to be a personal friend of mine.
The Chief Constable has a great many friends, sir. Perhaps you'd ask Mrs. Howard whether she will see me.
Very well. But this time, I shall insist on being present myself.
I'm trying to do this the easy way, sir. I take it you'd rather I questioned your wife here than at the police station.
Well, of course.
Then, in that case.
I see.
I'm not going to answer any more questions.
I tried to put him off, my dear, but he says it's important.
Well, I don't care how important it is. I'm ill. I refuse to be bullied.
I'm not here to bully you, Mrs. Howard.
I can't think properly. Why can't you leave me alone?
You see, I told you she wasn't in any fit state to answer questions.
I'm sorry, sir. I have to talk to her.
I'll be just outside, my dear, if you want me.
Mrs. Howard, I have to ask you again, and I want you to think very carefully before you answer. Did you know Harry Preston?
Was this what he was attacked with?
Probably. The hairs and blood on it are similar to the dead man's.
And yet the blow didn't kill him?
No. Come in. Oh, Sergeant.
Report, sir.
Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Before you go, Sergeant, I'd like to ask you about something I've written down. Now, these lacerations to the face, they were fairly widespread. There was bruising on the shoulders and on the arms. And marks were made by this on the bridge itself. Now, what would all that suggest to you?
The murderer wasn't very accurate.
And when you bear in mind that the blows were delivered relatively lightly.
He wasn't very strong, either.
Or
That he was a woman.
could have been a woman.
Yes, you may be right, sir. The inspector's interviewing a Mrs. Isabel Howard.
Inspector, I've never seen this man before. I've never heard of him. I've never met him.
You're in the habit of writing to people you've never met?
What?
Is this your handwriting, Mrs. Howard?
I take it you've finished, Inspector. I must ask you to go now.
Certainly, sir. But I'm afraid I must ask your wife to come with me.
Isabel, what is this about?
Would you like to accompany your wife, sir?
Of course, I'll get her coat. Yeah, my dear.
Where are you going?
The inspector wants to ask your mother some questions. You'll be all right with Mrs. Wilkins. We won't be long. Mrs. Howard.
Oh, where's he taking her?
To the police station.
Why can't he ask questions here?
We won't be long.
What, she's rich, bored, bit spoiled. I get the impression she doesn't get on too well with her husband. But I just don't believe she's capable of murder.
I met Ralph Howard once or twice at the university. He strikes me as being somewhat deficient in red corpuscles.
Couldn't say that about her. She knew the dead man. I wonder how well she knew him. Dr. Hardy? Yes. Yes, I see. Well, I better come round and have a look at it then. Yes, all right. I'll be there in about 15 minutes. Mrs. Ray. Supper all right when I get back, darling?
Want me to cook it?
Sweet of you, but I'm off burnt spaghetti at the moment.
You say you're at home on the night of March the 6th?
Yes.
All evening?
Yes.
Who was with you?
My husband and Stephen, till he went to bed.
And you were together all evening?
All the evening.
Right. Now tell me about Harry Preston.
Yes. Yes, I knew him. Of course, I knew him. I was in love with him.
And you were going to run away with him?
Yes.
But he changed his mind.
What?
When you got to the bridge, he said he couldn't go through with it, so you hit him over the head.
No.
Well, what did happen when you got to the bridge?
Well, nothing. He wasn't there.
So what did you do?
Well, I waited for about half an hour, then I came home.
What did you think had happened to him?
Well, I didn't think... I thought he hadn't been able to get away. I didn't think that anything like this.
You said in your letter, if you changed your mind, I don't know what I'd do. What did you mean by that?
I just thought it was plain enough.
Well, given what happened at the bridge, those words can mean anything. You didn't hear from Harry for 2 weeks. What conclusion did you come to?
I thought he'd gone back to his wife.
But you made no attempt to get in touch with him.
No?
Isn't that odd?
Well, why is it odd?
The man you're going to run away with suddenly disappears without trace, and you don't bother to find out why.
But I thought I knew why.
For a woman in love, Mrs. Howard, you give up very easily.
I think that's impertinent, Inspector.
I'm sorry. But perhaps you didn't bother to trace him because you knew he was already dead.
Because I killed him.
Did you?
No.
Did your husband know of your affair with Harry Preston?
Of course not.
Did anyone else know?
No.
Hello?
Hello.
Who are you?
Stephen Howard.
Oh, come in. So what can I do for you?
I was looking for Dr. Hardy.
I'm Dr. Hardy.
No, I mean the lady doctor.
Well, my wife. Well, she's out on a call, but she won't be long. Now, why don't you sit down? Wait for her. Does your father know you're here?
No,
I think we'd better tell him. He might be getting worried.
he's not there.
Where is he?
At the police station. They're asking Mother a lot of questions.
I see. Why do you want to see my wife?
I thought
Perhaps you might be able to tell me what will happen to Mother.
Police are always asking people about things. It's their job.
But they've taken her away, so it must be serious. They don't take people away in the middle of the night unless it's serious.
No, I suppose they don't.
Does every doctor have this equipment?
No, I'm a pathologist. That means as well as being a doctor, that'll be a bit of a chemist, histologist.
What's that?
Oh, that's all to do with microscopes. That's quite a special kind of microscope. Look. You see, the image on the slide is projected on the screen. It's magnified 400 times.
What are those?
Those are human hairs.
They look like sticks.
Don't they? What's your subject, Stephen?
History.
I once wanted to be a historian. What are you studying at the minute?
The Industrial Revolution.
The dark, satanic mills. William Blake. You should read him, you know.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright.
In the forests of the night. I think that must be my wife. You just wait here. I'll go and fetch her. Hello, darling.
Hello.
You've got a visitor in the lab.
Oh, who?
Wait and see. Oh, he's gone.
Who?
Stephen Hard came to see you.
He came to see me. Why?
They've taken his mother to the police station.
Well, he shouldn't be wandering about alone at this time of the night. I'd better go after him.
I think I'd better do that.
I suppose it must be a pretty terrible experience for a boy of 13. His mother being questioned about a murder.
He doesn't know that she's being questioned about a murder. Or does he?
What do you mean?
He's very close to his mother, isn't he?
I'd say so, yes.
But I think I'd better ring Fleming first.
So as far as you're aware, no one knew of your rendezvous?
Well, how could they? Unless
what?
Unless his wife found out. I don't know what sort of a woman she was, but she'd have a motive, wouldn't she?
She knew all about his affairs. Why should she suddenly kill him because of you?
Because this time she realized he was really going to leave her.
Then why didn't she kill you?
Well, perhaps she intended to, and Harry got there first.
Or perhaps you got there first. Come in. Let's just suppose...
Is it phone call, sir?
Not now.
It's important, sir. Dr. Hardy.
Fleming. Yes, Doctor. Right. Thank you, Doctor. I think we should be able to let you go home quite soon, Mrs. Hart.
You've discovered who did it?
We have some more inquiries to make.
Which don't concern me.
I didn't say that. You told me that no one knew of your relationship with Harry Preston.
Yes?
Are you sure of that?
Hello, Stephen. You show me how you did it. Then all this broke off. You hit him again with this. And he tumbled back, didn't he? Why did you do it?
He was going to take her away with him.
Your mother?
Yes.
How did you know that?
I heard them talking on the phone. They were going to meet here. And then she was going to leave me.
I see.
What have I got to do now?
You have to come with me. Tell all that to the inspector.
He'd never have loved her like I do.
I know.
I killed him. I'll make a statement. I'll sign whatever you like. I killed him.
Why, Mrs. Howard?
Because he said he was going back to his wife, and I...
Go on.
So, as he was walking away, I picked up a stone and I hit him with it.
You picked up a stone?
That's right. It was lying on the bed.
He was walking away from you?
Yes.
So you hit him from behind?
Yes, on the back of the head.
That doesn't correspond with the pathologist's report. It says that he was hit on the front and the side of the head.
Well, it was dark. I couldn't see.
Come in.
What's going on? I don't understand.